Well, news tonight, a woman was stabbed more than 20 times in her apartment, and now a Milwaukee man is charged.
Investigators say that man then sent a text to the woman's child.
Wait. He stabbed her 22 times just because a man called her and she wanted to leave? He then sent her daughter a text message saying he killed her just because she was disrespectful and mean. How on earth was someone like this left to roam the community, even with previous multiple criminal charges against him?
Yeah, Mary, prosecutors charged Mila Dukic with first-degree intentional homicide. Court records show he got into an argument with the woman he lived with. When she tried to leave, he killed her and then admitted to it.
He did all these, and they weren't even in a serious relationship. Amanda Varisco was 44 years old. She was stabbed 22 times, and the man who killed her, her live-in partner, Dukic, had an active felony stalking case and an active bail jumping case already open in Milwaukee County when he took her life. He was out on bail, facing felony charges, living with her, and nobody stopped it. DV crime cases are rising through the roof in our community, and we need to raise more awareness, so please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. These cases only spread awareness when we push them forward together. I want to take a moment here before we go into the details of February 5th because Amanda Varisco was a real person, and she deserves more than to be remembered only by the way she died. I had to do extensive research to bring up these underdog cases to the limelight. She was 44 years old. She lived on the south side of Milwaukee at the 3600 block of West National Avenue, a neighborhood she knew, a place that was her home. She had children, including a daughter who loved her enough that when she got that text, she did not hesitate. She called for help immediately. That daughter's love for her mother is woven into every detail of this case. It is the reason officers were dispatched that night. It is the reason this case entered the public record. And it is the reason we are talking about Amanda today. Her family created a GoFundMe in the days after her death to help cover funeral expenses because, beyond the grief, there are always practical burdens that fall on the people left behind. Amanda Varisco deserved to grow older. She deserved to watch her children grow. She deserved to walk out of an apartment whenever she felt like it and talk to whoever she wanted on her phone. That last part matters, and we will come back to it. Let us be very clear about who was living with Amanda Varisco when she was killed, because this is not a story about a random act of violence or a situation nobody saw coming. The warnings about this man were already documented, already filed, already in the system. Dukic was 39 years old. He is of Serbian origin and had been living in Milwaukee for some time. He and Amanda shared an apartment. He described their relationship to investigators as not a long-term romantic partnership, but one in which they were occasionally physically intimate. Whatever the exact nature of that arrangement, he was living in her space. He had access to her, and she was in danger because of it. Here is what was already on record before February 5th, 2026. In 2010, Dukic was convicted of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle, a homicide conviction. More than a decade before Amanda died, this man had already been linked to someone else's death. Then, on February 9th, 2025, 1 year before the murder, Dukic was charged with stalking with use of a dangerous weapon, a felony. That case was still open and pending on the night he killed Amanda. Then, in September 2025, 5 months before the murder, Dukic was charged with bail jumping, another felony. That case was also still open and pending on the night he killed Amanda. 2 open felony cases, 1 prior homicide conviction, all of it sitting in the Milwaukee County court system, unresolved, while he lived in Amanda Varisco's apartment. This case has drawn significant attention to Milwaukee County's felony case backlog, a system overwhelmed with pending cases that cannot move fast enough to keep dangerous people accountable before they harm again. In this situation, that backlog was not an abstract administrative problem. It was the direct context in which Amanda Varisco lost her life. It was the evening of Thursday, February 5th, 2026. Inside the apartment on West National Avenue, Amanda received a phone call from another man. She wanted to take it. She wanted to step out. According to Dukic's own account to police, his own words, not speculation, he asked her not to leave. She and Dukic argued, and then, according to the criminal complaint, Dukic punched her repeatedly until she appeared unconscious. He then retrieved a knife, and he stabbed her 22 times in the chest and abdomen. The defensive wounds on Amanda's hands and arms tell you something the autopsy cannot fully capture in numbers. She fought. She tried to protect herself. She tried to stop what was happening to her. Those wounds on her hands are the record of a woman who did not give up. After it was over, Dukic picked up his phone and texted Amanda's daughter. His message explained what he had done and why. In his words, she was disrespectful and mean for talking to another man on the phone. That is the motive he gave, verbatim. A phone call. She wanted to leave and take a call. That is what cost Amanda Varisco her life. Amanda's daughter received the text, called 911, and officers were dispatched to the apartment for what the police call log recorded as a wellness check, initially logged as a possible suicide attempt. When officers arrived at approximately 7:14 p.m., Dukic let them in. They found Amanda on the floor, unresponsive. They began CPR immediately. While they worked on her, Dukic said, "I didn't want to do it." Amanda Varisco was pronounced dead at the scene. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed 22 stab wounds to her chest and abdomen and additional wounds to her hands and arms consistent with defensive injuries. Let us talk about that text message one more time, because I do not want it to get lost in the legal details. Mild Dukic stabbed a 44-year-old woman 22 times, and then he texted her child to tell her about it. He included his justification. He explained to a daughter why he had just killed her mother. That level of deliberateness, the act of reaching for a phone, composing a message, sending it, tells you something about the state of mind of the person who did it. This was not panic. This was not remorse. This was a man who felt entitled to explain himself. On February 10, 2026, Mild Dukic was charged with first-degree intentional homicide and use of a dangerous weapon, and 2 felony counts of bail jumping. If convicted on the homicide charge alone, he faces life in prison without the possibility of parole. The bail jumping charges carry up to 6 years in prison and fines of up to $10,000 per count. He is in custody. He has appeared in court. No verdict has been entered. The proceedings are ongoing. There is a question that sits at the center of the Amanda Varisco case that I need to say out loud. If the stalking charge filed in February 2025 had been resolved, if Dukic had been prosecuted, convicted, and sentenced, would he have been living in Amanda Varisco's apartment on February 5th, 2026? The answer is almost certainly no. Milwaukee County's felony case backlog is not a new problem. Courts across the country are dealing with it. Cases stack up. Prosecutors are stretched. Timelines extend. And in the meantime, people who have been charged with serious offenses, stalking with a dangerous weapon in this case, remain free, remain in people's homes, remain in people's lives. That is what a backlog looks like when it has a human cost. The broader pattern this case reflects is documented in DV research going back decades. Controlling behavior, including controlling who a partner talks to, monitoring their phone, demanding they not leave, is one of the most consistent early warning signs of intimate partner violence that escalates to lethal outcomes. When a man kills a woman because she wanted to take a phone call and walk out a door, That killing was not spontaneous. It was the final act of someone who had decided, long before that evening, that he had the right to control her movements and her connections. The stalking charge from February 2025 tells you that this pattern was already documented, already known to the system, already in the record. And it was not enough. Amanda Varisco had children who loved her, and on the evening of February 5th, 2026, she was killed inside her own home because she wanted to take a phone call and walk out a door. Her killer had a prior homicide conviction. He had an open felony stalking case. He had an open bail jumping case. He was living with her anyway. Mile Dukic is in custody, charged with first-degree intentional homicide. The case is moving through Milwaukee County Circuit Court. No verdict has been entered. If you or someone you know is in a relationship where a partner controls who you talk to, where you go, or who you spend time with, that is not love. That is a pattern that the research tells us can escalate. The Sojourner Family Peace Center operates Milwaukee's 24-hour domestic violence hotline at 414-933-2722. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available at 1-800-799-7233 or by texting START to 88788. Amanda deserved better from a system that had the information and did not act in time. Say her name. Rest in peace, Amanda.